Well, I mean, we made it, guys. This was a very nice, straightforward, and very normal journey to release, and we're now here, obviously, and able to talk about it, which is great. Because Will, you said at one point you would do everything possible to promote the film. Well, we're in the midst of a press day. Have you regretted that comment yet?
No, not at all. And in fact, I wish I could do more. Like we're doing whatever we can to get the word out, but like I just want so many people to see this movie. I'm so proud of it, and I love it, and it got done wrong pretty badly, and I just want uh, a lesson to be learned.
Totally. Yeah, because look, Looney Tunes has always delivered on the kind of comedy and the kind of entertainment, which this does, of course. But I was surprised by how much kind of heart there was. There were some really moving moments, I thought, during this movie. When you guys saw the kind of edit and you saw it all kind of put together, did it catch you off guard at all as well?
Totally. I mean, for me, it did just because I think the natural, when you film so much with green screen, I think, you don't really know what it's going to look like. So in that sense, I was just caught off guard in a delighted way because it was just so much more grand, I think, than I could have even hoped. So I was delighted, but definitely saw that I felt when I first watched the movie, I felt like I hadn't even read the script almost. Like I felt like I was seeing a whole brand new movie.
I mean, you're making this movie a lot of times with the tennis ball, and so you we both read the script. I don't want to speak for Lana, but I love the script. I think she did too,
Um,
and and then we were like, okay, as we were going through making it, you're feeling like, oh, we're making the really good version of this already fantastic script, and then it
mhm.
goes away for a long time and Dave Green, the director in post, did so many things that weren't even stuff that you saw in the script, things that he was planning all along, because the amount of planning that went into making a movie like this was just
Mhm.
incredible. It was incredible to watch these guys working together as a seamless machine. So when we got to finally see it, it was I just couldn't believe how alive the thing was from beginning to end. It's just all these little, it's just so alive every frame, and when you put that together with the fact that when I saw it, I had just heard that they were gonna put the thing in a closet and throw away the key to the closet. It was pretty maddening and frustrating to watch this thing that you're like, oh my God, I'm so proud of this. And now nobody's gonna be able to get to see this. It was very upsetting. That's why we're so excited now.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys have spoken about it already, but in regards to and I know actors are so used to working opposite something that isn't there. We see it it doesn't have to be an animation or like working with an animated character, it can be a kind of spaceship going over the sky in a Star Wars movie, it can be anything like that. But what sort of unique challenges do come when you're not just opposite a character so frequently as you are with like Wiley Coyote in this, but also there's quite emotional scenes as well. How was that kind of acting opposite a tennis ball on this occasion? What sort of challenges come with a shoot of that nature?
Well, we yeah, so we did a lot of work with tennis balls and a lot of work with all of that. But what was so incredible that the filmmakers really set us up for success was they hired Dave Barclay, who is um, an iconic puppeteer. So he has been a puppet master and doing characters from Star Wars. I mean, he did
Job of the Hutt. He was
Jabba the
Job
Hutt. He's done characters from Star Wars. He did, Little Shop of Horrors, like all these things, right? So
Rock.
he's a brilliant, brilliant puppeteer. So they brought him in and he constructed a real life sized coyote that he could puppet himself. So we were very lucky because yes, and then they would pull the puppet away and then we would act with the tennis ball. But I think we were very lucky because our production really protected us and really wanted to set us up for success by hiring a real life puppet master to help our imaginations feel a little bit more grounded. So that was incredible to be able to work with an actual puppet master.
That was a huge part of it. And the script was so well written that it made it easier than it seems. Like it just, and there were a lot of moments that I didn't even realize were going to be emotional moments till later. It's just like some things kind of caught me by surprise, and I read the whole thing and worked on it for 3 months. So
but I was going to ask, because one of my favorite ever online comments was someone said that the reason Michael Caine and Tim Curry are so good in the respective Muppet movies is that Michael Caine treats the Muppets as fellow actors and Tim Curry treats himself as a fellow Muppet. So I wanted to know, when working with the Looney Tunes here, which side would you say you both kind of fell on more? Were you treating the Looney Tunes as fellow actors or treating yourself like a fellow Looney Tune?
Well, I would say that our role in this is to be their lawyers and their partners. So I would say more on the side of treating them like fellow actors than being a fellow Muppet, because we're not supposed to be cartoony in this. The bringing this to life. I think the whole premise works better if we are just treating everything with grounded, sincere emotion. And even the comedy stuff, there's so much crazy, actual cartoony stuff happening that if you're also being cartoony, then it's just over the top. So like that stuff I think plays way better when we're nice and grounded.
Totally. But don't get me wrong, like Coyote had a director's chair. Like we treated the actual puppet like an actor. Like he got to sit on a chair, I actually felt like weird. Like whenever he was sitting in the green room, I was like, I should maybe leave, because I felt like I was like, he's the star of the movie, and so I felt like I shouldn't belong in the green room.
You don't want to disturb him, yeah.
Just very quickly before I go there, because beyond the experience you had when it did appear to be shelved, do you think that has kind of changed your perspective on the industry at all and your experiences shooting and creating art? Do you think it kind of served to remind you how important it is that people do see the things that you make?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I definitely was like, I do not want this to happen again. So I'm not gonna lie, it has influenced my decisions on, what's next and what projects I want to do next, because I didn't know that it was possible to get rid of years of people's hard work. But now that I know, I'm definitely making sure that I can set myself up in positions where I can be in business with people who, hopefully that won't happen again. But you never know. My next movie might get shelved. Who knows?
No, I mean, nothing really surprises me about this industry. You can't really count on anything. And there is a side of it where I've heard, one argument is like, look, they paid for it, so they can do what they want with it. But then my counter argument is like, okay, wait. So they agreed based on this script, they liked the script enough to shell out the money that it took to make the movie. Then we made the best version of that movie.
Yeah.
And then I don't understand where it then becomes something you gotta shelf. It's like testing really well. It's a incredibly well-known IP. Like every movie is going to be a crapshoot when you're putting it in the theaters, but like if you're not going to roll the dice on something on that kind of combination of factors, what are you going to roll the dice on?
Right.
Brilliant. Well, I'm very pleased it is out there and we were able to speak about it today. So thank you so much for your time. It's been a real pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys!
Hey, you guys!